What's up, everybody? So Hardy Construction. You can find us at hardyconstruction.tumblr.com, youtube.com/hardyconstruction, as well as facebook.com/the Hardy Construction with those comp, and
Window anus.
today's film is
Hush 2016.
Hush 2016, a horror/thriller directed by Mike Flanagan. A reclusive author who went deaf as a teenager finds herself hunted by a deranged masked killer inside her isolated home, sending her into a dangerous game of cat and mouse in order to survive the night. Written by Mike Flanagan and Kate Siegel. Stars John Gallagher Jr., Kate Siegel as Maddie, the main character, Michael Trucco, Samantha Sloyan, and Emma Graves.
The main actress wrote it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's also about a woman who, if you scare her enough, she slowly becomes Angelina Jolie. It's very scary.
Yeah.
So this movie came out on Netflix, I think either a week ago or it came out this month. And we obviously didn't see the movie that we were supposed to see this week either, but we were very busy. And I heard about this film. I wasn't sure about it. The poster sort of looked cheap, and the mask for the killer sort of looked cheap, and I was kind of like, uh-oh, it's going to be some sort of boring kind of horror film, but I kept hearing good things about it, and surprisingly, it was very good, for me at least. It lived up to its name as a horror thriller. So set up this story, Danny. What's going on with Hush?
It's pretty straightforward. It's basically just this deaf and mute author. She went deaf and mute
At the age of 13 because of bacterial meningitis.
From meningitis, right? Yeah. And she's living like kind of in the woods, writing or whatever. And
that's your dream, isn't it?
Kind of, not permanently, but I like the idea.
Oh, not being hunted by a psychopath? That's not your dream?
Well, no, that's part of it, but I prefer
okay.
that to happen in like my city loft.
Oh.
Anyway, so she's in the woods writing, and there is a guy that is bad and wants to kill her.
She's a bit of a successful author, right? As we see in the beginning of the film, I guess her best friend Sarah is visiting her. I was a little confused because they kept mentioning the name John, and I was like,
she's
who's
not
John?
even a
Like,
best friend. She's just a neighbor, but they're friends. But
well, she had
not,
photos.
super close.
She had photos in her house with her, so I assume that's her only friend for now. Because she does keep receiving calls from this guy named Craig. So I thought, is she cheating on a guy named John? Or I didn't know what was going on. But then they said, oh, she's by herself. And I realized, oh, okay, so she is by herself.
Yeah, that was true, actually. She
later.
got all scared with Craig calling her. I guess that's like her crush or something. Who knows?
Yeah, or maybe they kind of dated and it ended badly. Because I think that's what her friend, who she Skypes with earlier in the film, says. Like, it ended badly. Or ended, yeah. So Maddie is by herself. She keeps herself, and she is constantly writing, trying to get the new book out, and her friend Sarah reads her book. I think it was, I forgot, was it Holy something? Holy Moly or something like that? Well, anyway, she reads this book, and she's telling her...
Batman.
I liked it. It was so funny because watching the opening credits, you know how they have companies at the opening where they show like the company's logos and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And they have... I really think Blumhouse might have one of the worst opening graphics in the history of, like... Because it just looks like a horrible 3D video game or something. It's just like weirdly put together, like weird CG,
and it's
I'm
completely
like, what is
silent, which I didn't get at first.
I guess it was because it was deaf. Because I was like, did I just what's going on with the
I thought my
Netflix?
volume was broken. I kept making it louder, and then when the sound came out, I was like, whoa.
But the even better one was the opening. I forgot what the hell it was called. What production company the name of it was, but it was like there's like a video like the name of the company. I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was
Intrepid
Inspiring
Pictures and Blue
Yeah,
House
the
Productions.
Intrepid one is hilarious. It's just like a guy standing in front of like an electric storm, and he's just standing there and his shirt's blowing back. And I was like, what is this? Like, what kind of fucking... I bet you that was the guy who owns that company did that.
Pirate porn company.
Yeah, it looked like a guy who threw, like, he just stood in front of a giant bathtub and threw 10,000 fucking toasters in it or something. Anyway, so Maddie is a writer, and she is within about 20 minutes of the film. She is accosted by a psychopath who's wearing this weird mask. What did you think about him kind of ditching the mask and just becoming a regular guy? Do you think that sort of took away from the horror element, or?
Well, I mean, I guess this movie made some pretty smart decisions because it's kind of like it's as straightforward as it can get. So they're not going to drag out elements. They just
I guess they didn't want
ahead and made it go.
Yeah, I guess they didn't want to make it seem like the strangers or something, like
And
another.
what's the point of him continuing to wear the mask? Like, they already
Right.
know. We already know he's a guy that killed somebody. Blah blah blah. We've seen it a million times in horror movies, so I like that they were just straightforward.
Yeah, it was interesting. It essentially becomes a thriller right after he takes his mask off. Because once you see the face of the guy, it's no longer like a horror film where it's faceless. So essentially the rest of the film is her in this house trying to figure out a way to get out of it. It's a very big cat and mouse game, and he's always like, "Oh, I'm not gonna, I'm going to torture you, and then I'm going to kill you when you want to die." So that's basically his motive, and I think he killed about 13 people because he has it scratched onto his mechanical bow.
Oh,
And,
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, she sees the 4 scratches with the 1 across them. There was like 13 of them. So she's basically trying to survive the night with this psychopath in her, putting her in his crosshairs, or however the hell you want to say it. And I think it's really well. It was so funny because the guy looks sort of like he would start rapping or something because he has like the short hair. He just looks like a rapper.
I wish he was like older or something. I don't know. I just find it, when I see people like my age, I find it hard to imagine like how they could be that way. Maybe.
But that's like the worst people are. The worst people are the youngest ones because they're so like brash and insane.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's hunting her down, and I don't know what else we can say about this film other than it's actually put together well, and I think it should have actually been in theaters because it was done really well. It's a hell of a lot better cat and mouse film than I've seen other ones doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it never went to theater. It was only for Netflix.
Right. So Kate Siegel did a good job at writing this film. I actually thought she was deaf watching the film, and I was like, I'm going to look her up and see if she's actually deaf because I don't know. Like, she's just really well done. She doesn't speak. I don't understand why a person who was deaf, lost their hearing at 13, still wouldn't talk.
My grandma went deaf like when she was dying or whatever, and she could still talk. She just couldn't hear. But I think there's something like wrong with her vocal cords. But then again, I have no idea how meningitis affects the vocal cords. I don't really get it. But
I assume it's something that affects your ears and kind of destroys.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand how it could make you deaf, but I don't see how it could stop you from being able to make even just like howls.
Because she would still win. I could understand she doesn't scream because she doesn't want to alert him to where she is.
Yeah,
but
when he steps on her hand or something, which was a horrible scene. Oh my god.
She's still it's pretty graphic. She will still like mouth it out, but doesn't make any noise. And I would think you can still make noise with your throat, but I don't know the effects of bacterial meningitis.
She makes breathing and wheezing noises.
Yeah, because I was really surprised when because she talks about having a voice in her head that tells her how to write her stories, sort of, and she can't shut it up. And her friend asks her, "Who is it?" It sounds like my mother. But then later on, it's a reveal. It's herself talking to herself. And I was like, "Oh shit, she can talk! Like this is an actress who can talk and isn't deaf." I assume she's not deaf.
Well, maybe she's talking, but it's her mom's voice.
Could be that too.
Since we never actually hear her voice.
No, I mean, how do you know it's not her voice? I mean, it's clearly the actress talking during the sequence.
No, I know, but maybe in her brain, if this is real, she's imagining her mom's voice coming out of her.
I did enjoy that whole sequence when she's having the conversation with herself because it threw me off. There was a big fake out in the middle of the film. And there's that pretty amazing sequence when she's having this conversation about how to survive. And since she is, I don't know what kind of books she writes. I assume she sort of writes mystery novels or something like that. And she's trying to, or maybe not. She just maybe is a good writer, and she's trying to figure out how to, what are these doors that are opening and closing as in opportunities for her to get out of this situation. And she's like, if you go out this way, he'll kill you. If you go and stay up in the bathroom, you'll bleed out. Stuff like that, and it was really interesting. I think she's a pretty awesome character, Maddie. That she was smart, but the only part is when she fucks up when she alerts the killer to somebody else. When one person actually is alerted to the killer and he gets stabbed in the neck, that character.
And that was that guy was Samuel Anders, and is that his name? Yeah, in Battlestar Galactica.
Very good show, fantastic. I've never seen it.
He's such a jerk, but he was awesome in that show.
I felt like I had seen this guy in so many things before, but I don't know what. Maybe he's just sort of generic, but he's been in like The Killer Guy. He's been in Law and Order, which everybody's been in. He's been in NYPD Blue. He must have been like fucking 10 years old or something in that show. Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Is NYPD Blue no longer on?
Yeah, that hasn't been on TV for like about more than 10 years, maybe. He was just in 10 Cloverfield Lane, so I haven't seen that. I heard good things, but then somebody else told me it's like really shitty, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway,
well, that's with John Goodman. I mean, John Goodman's good.
Of course, yeah, he's always good. But I think I actually liked it a lot, and we're trying not to. Well, I'm not trying to spoil it that much.
There's really nothing to spoil.
No, it's not. It's sort of a film you have to watch. It's a good film to go in without seeing anything about it, but it is sort of a generic slasher film. But the choices that they make are pretty interesting, as in the way they move the story forward, and it's never boring. We're with this girl the whole time. We do want her to survive. Well, I wanted her to survive.
I was actually rooting for the kid. No.
The man played by John Gallagher Jr. is really despicable. Like, I just really disliked him. And I think it's just a cast of like 5 people, honestly, and it's they do well with
the guy, the girl. There's like a split-second Skype session. The neighbor and the neighbor's boyfriend.
There's a lot of use of. It's basically use of one set. Well, not one set, but multiple sets. They just reuse the same set. So, but it doesn't get boring because
and they got that weird cat. What kind of cat is that? They look so.
I don't know. It was you didn't like that cat? I thought it was a cute cat.
No. I like the cat, but it's such a cartoon cat. Like, I've seen cats like that very rarely, but like I know somebody that has a cat like that.
They should have had, like, when she was thinking about that, how to get out. It should have been the cat talking to her. And he's like, meow, 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 you've got to get out of here. And he's just like,
or you hear inside her head, it's like all like crazy, like death metal, and like it sounds like goblins and, whatever, I can't think, Dario Argento movies or something.
Yeah, right. But anyway, we were rambling along because we just needed to get an episode out. But I actually very much enjoyed this, and I truly, truly hope that people go out and check this film because.
Yeah.
It's
you don't even need to go out. You can just watch it on Netflix.
That's the weird thing about our show is that if a movie's actually really good, we want to see you. The episodes end up this length, which is 12 minutes long.
Is it only been 12 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, I felt like it may have been longer that we've been doing this episode, but no. So, is there anything else you want to talk about with this movie?
Well, it's a very straightforward. That's what I like, but it also makes it hard to talk about. But I would say that there is really no point where the film feels boring or lagging. It's like exactly the right length. It is a very, very typical. Like, it's not gonna like blow you away or anything. It's definitely.
But
there's nothing new about it. It's just good.
It's a film that sort of serves its purpose, right? Like,
yeah.
Was there anything that you disliked about the film?
No, not really. No, I thought it was great. Like, even the whole idea of she's a writer, so she's thinking of these different endings and stuff.
Right.
Like, I think it's a very generic movie that is very well done.
And it's not like a lukewarm like. It's like an actually, it's a fun movie.
It's good. It's the genre is so saturated with this kind of thing, but it's really good. It stands out.
So the other movie that this guy directed was Oculus. So we enjoyed Oculus, I think. Remember?
She was apparently in Oculus, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I looked up her IMDb. I just can't remember. She's married to the director.
Oh, that's why he let her write it.
I think so. Shut up.
What? Oh, I mean, that's good. No, well, no, I would. She's a good writer. She's a good writer.
It might have been her idea. We don't know.
Oh, true, yeah. But yeah, she did a very good job writing this film. I liked it. It was straightforward. And what the fuck? How many times am I going to say that? I'm trying to push this to 15 minutes.
To say. There are good special effects with her hand breaking scene. That was good.
That was really good. Yeah, the gore equivalent is pretty good. There's actually graphic violence and stuff in the film. It's not oversaturated with violence, but it's there when it happens. It's pretty graphic.
The neck stab scene, the first one, was like, ooh, the way it just went in so quick, like that really bothered me actually.
Yeah, and it's very disturbing. The violence in it is very disturbing and graphic, but it's not overdone. It's realistic kind of graphic violence, so that's probably the more disturbing type. Anyway, with that, Danny, what rating would you give this film?
I'm gonna give this film an 8. An 8 out of 10.
That's great.
8 out of 8 out of 10. Stabbing a person in the neck and then they still almost successfully kill you because you're that much of a pussy.
I would give them a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 getting rid of your, obviously, expensive mask and taking it off just so you can spook a woman. So with that, Danny, what's the final word?
Neckbeard.
The horror